세러데이 쇼다운 젠지 스포츠 대 T1.
Maybe. I will say one thing. We have Fearless, right? But even if this was not Fearless, I don't think we're seeing the Aurelia again in Game 2. Or maybe for the rest of the season. Maybe you can put that one... needs to cook a little bit longer. Yeah, so obviously Game 1, we saw a lot of bans focused towards the bot lane. We saw Varus, Ezreal, Lucian all taken away. Now it is D+ who are first pick. They had second pick last time. And already we've seen things changed up a little bit so far. We'll see if we still get the Ezreal Lucian could come through as bans. It is D+ who have that first pick priority though. And maybe want to get their hands on the Lucian themselves.
Yeah. That is what... Oh.
Nope, they end up banning it out. So we could end up seeing HLE just going for an Ezreal ban here. And then honestly, the bans would be pretty similar. The only exception would be switching Nocturne for Nautilus. And obviously Nocturne was kind of banned because of the synergy with Orianna. But we'll see if HLE want to go in that direction. They go for the Vi instead. There is still the Xin Zhao available, who, if anything, has been higher prio than the Vi.
Maybe Kanavi is hoping for a trade where he gets to play Xin Zhao and they take an Ezreal.
Maybe they're trying to bait him into picking it because they'll play Trundle.
Yeah.
We'll see what they opt to go for. A lot of weight in this first pick for D+. You know, there's a lot of mid lane picks available for Showmaker that we've often seen first pick, like Ryze or Annie. But instead going straight for the Lulu. I mean, they did ban Nautilus in the situation. And you got to think, with these pretty heavy bot lane bans coming out, what are you going to play into, presumably, Yannara Lulu? We've seen Ezreal Nico played before, but we know how we feel about that one. If you want to kind of crush lane, we know that Guma can play picks like MF and Jhin, who have a lot of that early pressure.
Yeah. You could still potentially take Nocturne and Nico together if you wanted to go for that one, but instead, they might just be going for the Xin Zhao.
Yeah.
And you do want to take that away from the Lulu side.
Yeah, I think so for sure. And especially with a lot of junglers thinned out, it makes sense to put priority toward that. Now, what will they opt to go for bot lane now? They go immediately for the Corki. So Corki Nami is something that they can take into this. I feel like the Yannara Lulu's been doing better and better in this matchup. And D+ are just going to respond with the Trundle. So I'm expecting Trundle Yannara, HLE go Nami, and I feel like D+ do pretty well in that trade overall.
Yeah.
Having a good matchup in the jungle. And again, we've seen the Corki Nami struggle to have the same amount of pressure.
They swapped off of the Trundle for now. The Yannara was kind of...
It was the obvious one. You give yourself more time to pick, and it looks like they're not fully committed to going that Trundle in the jungle.
So they just hover it, and then they don't pick it. And they say, well, if you want to ban it, go ahead.
I think HLE would have just banned it anyway, whether they hovered it or not.
Probably.
Showmaker's TF, looking like it could be the option. And especially if you want to put even more pressure down the bot lane, when you already had so much in the last game, TF definitely a pick that can lean into that and do that. But also, if you look at HLE's composition, their main way of closing distance is Xin Zhao. Like, the Nami wave is very slow. Xin Zhao has to charge forward. Showmaker can kind of hold them at bay with the gold card as a threat, really limit Xin Zhao's ability to play the game. If you get stun carded, you ult as the stun card's in the air, or do you hold it and potentially die without ulting? I think HLE need more engage in their composition. They don't have Vi, they don't have Nautilus to deal with this Yannara.
Yeah.
And I think so far, D+ pretty happy with what they've got. Pantheon ban going to come through, so trimming some of Lucid's options in the jungle. If I'm D+, I would want to remove probably Annie, honestly, in this situation, because that, to me, is something that can really threaten the carries on the side of D+.
Yeah, it's definitely a very strong pick nowadays. Something that Zeka's gone to, and many of our mid laners have gone to. Azir going to be taken away first. So definitely a playmaker in the mid lane, but I don't see a whole lot of Azir nowadays.
I feel like we've seen him mostly as like the second round ban, but he's just not really picked first rotation. He's not that high priority, and teams are like, you know, we don't want him to play it and have it as a late pick, but as you said, not really seeing it too much. Skarner ban comes through. The Skarner priority has been rising to a crazy degree, and it would just make the life of HLE more difficult with Kanavi trying to move forward and there being so much control in return. And they do ban away that Annie, which I think is a very heads-up ban, limiting some of the engage potential. Presumably Zeka is going to pick here. I
mean, it looks good when Chovy plays it with Deathfire Touch. This is more of a Zeka pick.
The thing with the Cassiopeia is obviously if you get into the Cassiopeia's face, she has a lot of damage, a lot of threat. But I feel like HLE are kind of needing to close a distance more so. Yeah, so they do lock that in. I'm not convinced it really solves the problems that I think HLE can potentially have. And now D+, I wouldn't be surprised if they just pick something really stable for Shiwu in this situation.
Any particular reason for that?
Just a vibe I'm getting. Just my intuition.
Yeah.
Nocturne going to come through. This is not the sort of stable pick I would have expected if they do go for the chase.
I feel like this has been what she was gone to for a blind pick pretty often, but I'm not a big fan of these blinds.
It's going to get matched with the Yorick immediately, which is no surprise. And maybe this is going to be redemption for Shiwu, but you're in a matchup which is favored to the other side, and Zeus did just completely blast you in the last game. So we'll have to see if he's able to manage this one. You know, I think in this situation, the Nocturne, obviously, and the TF has a lot of control they can offer towards the side lanes. As soon as level 6 is unlocked for those two picks, that is where things become a little bit concerning for the rest of the map for D+. You have a super scaling bot lane, and the Jace, even though we've seen the Yorick matchup be favored, early game, you can have an advantage. We've seen Jaces pull ahead in the early levels. Zeus himself was getting solo kills on the Jace into Yorick. And before Yorick has the Maiden, the matchup isn't as bad. So maybe this is the opportunity for D+ to get that ball rolling with the power of those global ultimates.
We have the fan signs going at it. The D+ Kia fans desperate for a victory. And the HLE fans very confident that they will get it. Corki Nami, pretty interesting to see it proud this early on in a series, even in a game 2. But we'll see if they can pilot it well, as we got TF and Nocturne back for Showmaker and Lucid. Let's hop into the rift for game number 2.
미니언들이 생성되었습니다.
Here we go. Game number 2.
Yeah. This is a game, you know, oftentimes the team who loses game 1 will be seeking redemption going into game 2. This feels less like team-focused redemption and more so individual-focused redemption. I think Gumiushi obviously hoping he has a better laning phase this time around with how rough things ended up in game 1. And Shiwu, yeah, definitely hoping things go better. Has gone the Storm Raiders Surge. Is this the first time we've seen it in the LCK?
Smash is going to step up very aggressively here and not take the best trade himself.
Yeah, it kind of felt like they were just both Guma and Delight were hitting him at the same time, and Cray was a bit further back. Really important that like you have parity with your support and your positioning. And as well, when you're playing into the Nami, she's always going to soften the impact of trades with that sustain. So the fact that Smash is already low on HP doesn't feel too good.
Yeah. All the secondary summoners have been traded as well. So no barriers, no heals. It's all traded out at level 1.
I think this is the first time we've seen Storm Raiders Surge, right?
I don't remember seeing it, personally.
I mean, obviously Jace has the burst damage to proc it, but we'll see how efficiently he's able to use it as an escape tool. Well, there's an example.
Yeah. Going on in, the Fast Bomb is going to miss on the smash. Glitterlance hits Guma. So, kind of taking the worst end of that trade, but then eventually goes back towards DK.
So I think a good window to get a recall here for D+, given that you just don't have the same level of sustain. Smash was slightly outside the rush there. They are sticking around. The Light's pretty low on mana, but Guma being healthy as a result of that. this is the reason I feel like the Cassiopeia was picked, is the lane matchup. Kind of hard for Showmaker ever to really walk up to the Cassiopeia.
Oh, flashed on here. The Q is just going to take down, and Zeka in the 1v1 picks it up.
Huge play from Zeka. Lucid not able to chase him down either. Flashes in, commits for the play, and this is why he went for the Cassiopeia for the 1v1 matchup. And getting an early kill like that, definitely huge for HLE.
It's kind of crazy. He flashes in, lands the miasma immediately, so that Showmaker doesn't really have any recourse. And he knew it. You saw his face on the camera. He's like, man, nice play from Zeka. That's probably what he was thinking.
Yeah, I feel like having Deathfire Touch on Cassiopeia, you don't have like the... Like in obviously before you'd have like Conqueror or Phase Rush. I mean, I think it was more Conqueror, to be honest. In those extended fights, you don't get like the healing that can come through and the stacked up adaptive force, but there's just so much poke pressure, I feel like. Flash W there was really well played. Just had enough mana for that, by the way. Like exactly enough. Goes for a drink and then dodges away for the knockdown.
He's like, oh, that was really nice. So, respect shown. It's just another day at the office, though, for Zeka, who had no reaction and dodged Nocturne with the drink in his hand.
Oh, no.
And Showmaker going to be happy he leveled up a little bit, but he's still not going to be happy.
I mean, that's the thing with the old Conqueror in the extended trades or fights felt good, but that fight touched just so much damage. And the thing is, it works well in the extended fights, too, because the burn amps after it's been on them for 3 seconds. You know, Twin Fang puts it on for 4 seconds. The dots just keep reapplying it, so I'd honestly be interested how much damage Zeka's done with the Deathfire Touch already. But I think Showmaker definitely feeling it on the other end.
Yeah. So they're looking for a trade here. Guma going to eat the Slurkle, but a nice bubble here from Delight's going to help out. Barrier does come down, but Guma does get pretty low at the end of the day. Lots of harass coming out from Career. Even another Slurkle to come out and force Guma back.
Oh man, Showmaker does not need to get ganked right now.
Yeah, he does have Flash, but I mean, maybe he flashes here and tries to get away from the knockup, and that he will. Kanavi not going to follow up. And obviously, Zeka doesn't have his, so.
Yeah, I mean, he survives it, but Flash being down doesn't feel good when you're already being pressured out in lane so much so. And the fact is, Zeka's going to have his Flash up in not too much time. Combo that with the ultimate, and then maybe the window for another solo kill.
I just feel like for Showmaker, this is such a nice comfort pick, and you're probably coming into this and saying, oh, you know, it's TF, he's good into most lanes, I should be fine. And then Zeka picks Cassio, and you're like, wait.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to be dominated this much.
Yeah. He is struggling.
Like, we've seen TFs fall behind, but it's okay because he's TF, and he gets extra gold, but...
I mean, you're still going to have value as TF, but it definitely feels bad, and your ability to impact the map is massively reduced when you're just getting bullied out of lane so far. We have seen Shu having a pretty good laning phase so far, though, which is something at least.
Yeah. Trying to make up for game number 1. We do have Lucid on the Scuttle Crab, it looks like. Nope, the Dragon. Thought maybe he was on that, but yeah, he's going to pick up level 6 from that.
Lucha Swiftness for Showmaker, I think, is a wise investment. And now he's actually looking to make a play top. Zeus could just be dead if this comes through. Although I saw a ping on the red buff. I think they suspect Kanavi's here, and they have the tools to collapse onto him.
I mean, Lucid maybe was in range, but then you know, Zeka could just walk over, and I think in that 2v2 you do not win, so...
I think there was a moment where if they, you know, we have full information, maybe if there's a ward down there, they could have gone for the play, but I think he walked too far, and as you said, Zeka is such a threat you don't really want to tango with.
And he's like Cassiopeia with 2 ruby crystals, but still. Trying to make a play here on Zeus, as he is going to land the Ghoulie Wall, but Flash going to deal with that very nicely. The fear comes out, and Zeus goes down eventually. Lucid will pick it up with the Q. And they do get the kill in the extended play.
Yeah, good play there, and Zeus obviously threw the Ghoulie Wall down, but then had to flash away, and Lucid just flashed out to follow, so didn't really gain anything from that ability. Good first Nocturne gank.
Right, going in for a good trade once again. Smash gonna ult away from the bubble. But all things considered, Smash pretty low on mana. He's gonna get a nice trade here at the end of it though against the Light, but I would assume that, yeah, Showmaker in a lot of trouble here. No flash for him, gets flashed on by the Xin Zhao, and that'll be the end of him. So now 0-2 for Showmaker, and Zeka has 2 kills already.
This kind of feels similar to game 1, where she, died in a solo kill, and then HLE just twisted the knife. Just said, you know what, we'll just amp that up. We'll come back and we'll punish it. Here, he puts the wall down and flashes out of it, and it's just the most logical thing to flash to follow. I think Zeus was just kind of dead here. I don't think there was much he could have done to outplay this. But here, we already saw the gank to get his flash. Follow-up gank here. Both of them have their flashes, so it's just impossible really for him to outplay it. And it kind of feels like a repeat of the Aurelia in the sense that, you make a mistake in lane and then they just keep punishing you, keep finding ways to put you behind.
Also, as a bonus, Lucid had just Paranoia top, so they knew that, the Nocturne's not going to come flying in. I feel like even if Lucid did come flying in, probably they still kill Showmaker. Like, maybe Lucid maybe he trades back on a Kanavi, who still had Crescent Card, by the way. But, and I'm not saying that Lucid shouldn't have ulted top. Obviously, that was still a good play, but it was just like that even extra layer of safety that's like, yeah, we can just kill Showmaker again. There's just nothing.
They didn't need to be paranoid about it.
Exactly.
They had the information.
Yeah. I think it's a good ability name in general. I feel like, though, when you hear it, you can't really guess what you're getting out of it, I
mean, I think it just lasts such a long time in the darkness.
Yeah.
That was the thing that really put Nocturne back in the meta, because we hadn't seen him for a while. This was years ago, to be fair. But they buffed the duration of it, and I think it's something that, more than any ability in League of Legends esports, I feel like the viewer just doesn't get the full scope of how obnoxious it is.
Yeah.
Like,
I was just talking about the name itself, Paranoia. Like, can you guess what the ability is if you just hear Paranoia? As you're going to dodge the Ghoulie wall here, and he's got a Nocturne to help out. No flash for Zeus. He's just dead once again. And Xiu looking much better here on this Jace. Nice setup from him.
I feel like if I had to guess based on the name, I'd feel like it'd be something like...
a trade in the bot lane. The circle's going to come in, but now Smash has to flash the bubble. And he puts on one of his own with the barrier. Now Showmaker's like, yeah, I can just walk into my mid lane, right? No. He's very low now.
I'd assume if I hit Paranoia, it'd be like a dot ability, or like just like a caster's ability.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Dream Eater in Pokemon sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it definitely makes people paranoid.
Like a mind attack of some sort.
Yes.
But
exactly.
Yeah. Complete and utter darkness. Not sure. Maybe that should be the name. Complete and utter darkness. It's a little bit.
I feel like
a little bit long.
I feel like it's gaslighting a little bit to say it's paranoia. Yeah. It's like, no, it's a
it's a real threat.
Yeah. If someone just, if you're walking out and it's a bright sunny day and it suddenly just turns completely dark and you just hear like a whooshing noise, it's just like a ghostly being flies towards you and you hear the darkness. I don't think you'd be able to call that being paranoid.
Yeah.
I think that's a
very
pretty
justified in your fear.
That's a very valid fear.
I'd be like, well, I guess this is the end. Like, I think it would be pretty obvious. HLE are looking for this Infernal Drake, and Deepleski are kind of like, okay, maybe we can fight, but they don't have a mid lane. So,
yeah.
No, you can't fight. And it's Cloud Soul.
Pretty good soul, I feel like, for either side. I think a lot of HLE is wanting to close the distance, and the movement speed helps. Oh, they're looking.
Trying to turn here on to Zeka. He does have that rod, so he's pretty tanky. They don't quite have the damage, and look at that Nocturne just being burned down, but eventually they do get the kill. Lucid now on the run, trying to run towards his Lulu. As the wave gonna catch the Lulu, but now Kanavi just goes in on a Showmaker, and there's the Wild Growth, flashes the bubble, and in they go, career with the Polymorph, but they just don't have the damage. A Showmaker, not only a Catalyst, doesn't do anything, but to be fair, Delight not able to kill the Nocturne either, and so DK do get away for now.
Oh, Kanavi, he's gonna get stunned here if he goes for this.
Oh, looks like he had an inkling that this was gonna happen, and now the roam down from Xiu just means that Kanavi is dead. Nearly gets the kill on a Lucid, though.
Lucid playing with fire there, but able to survive. Huge advantageous play for D+ there. Able to find Zeka. The CC layering comes through, and then Kanavi, you can see how desperate he was to make something off this play. In this situation, stun card into the fear. Zeka doesn't really get to do anything. And Kanavi is trying to clean up this play, but Lucid able to kite away for a while, and then Kanavi sees a Lulu and goes, oh, this is a bit of a problem. The fact that Lucid lives this, flashes from the bubble, and then the light tries to kill him and he gets a spell shield on the back end. This could have easily gone wrong in many ways for D+, but able to survive on such low health. And then here, the roam down from the Jace to pick up this kill.
Yeah, I feel like this could have been communicated better from the side of Hanwha Life Esports. I mean, top lane isn't exactly going well. And the second Xiu's off of Vision, I think as Kanavi, you have to respect. I know it's difficult for Kanavi to do that, but in that case, definitely should have backed away. And he doesn't, so he just dies to Lucid it was. But Xiu does pick up the assists. And so that's a 3-0 Nocturne.
But like, I know Xiu's gotten a lot of help from the Nocturne, but he's been having a great game so far in this one. You know, I feel like picking the Jace blind, a pick we've seen very feast or famine in the LCK, very hit or miss. But then able to have a good laning phase, obviously getting the backup of Lucid, but I think it's good to see he didn't lose his confidence after that game one. I think a lot of players would have had a game one like that and been like, just pick me on or something.
Maybe it went so far south that he was just like, well, you know, I've hit rock bottom, like whatever, I don't care. Like, just pick me Jace, I'll press my buttons. You know, it can't get worse than this. I say, as they're trying to make a play here, but she is very fast, and he ran away.
Able to disengage. Also has gone the Spirit Shojin first, so actually a lot bulkier.
It's a lot of damage on Smash.
Yeah, this is a big spike for the Corki. A lot of burst for the Nami as well with the Mandate.
And Kanavi, I mean, yes, he died, but he's still pretty strong. They're trying to turn here onto the Nami, it looks like, but immediate disengage comes out. Tons of damage, though, from the Yunara, as Smash just pushes forward, picks up a kill. Showmaker also getting one of his own. CK call the bluff and pick a big fight.
Such an aggressive play from D+ there, but they commit to it, they get the CC down, and Smash is just able to shred damage across multiple members. D+ now with a pretty sizable lead here, going to be able to pick up the Herald. And I feel like if I'm them, you grab the Herald, you save it for that team fight in a minute. If you win that Dragon fight handily, you're going to be in such a great position.
And Zeka, you know, he's pretty strong, but he wasn't really able to do much there. And D+ Kia, it feels like they're finding these fights that are heavily in their favor. And that's really what a composition like this can offer you. When TF can join, when Nocturne can join from pretty much anywhere, you can decide whether it's going to be a good fight or not and kind of be proactive and force the fights on your terms, especially when you have a Yunar that eventually, and even now, is a decent threat up against HLE.
Yep, and I think HLE just don't have great ways to lock Smash down. You know, the miasma can cause issues, but it's not that hard CC. You don't have a Vire or Nautilus. Smash starts to get fed. He's already 900 gold up in the matchup. He is going to be a big issue. Yeah. Dragon is now up and available. They have kept that Herald. So already, it's a big disadvantage in terms of gold for HLE. You also don't have Flash in your AD carry in this situation. And D+ have the 6th member in the Combat Herald to make use of. I think you just let it go. I think you just don't fight this.
Yeah. Maybe wait for Corki's second item or something like that. There's a lot of damage out here from Zeus already on a Xiu. Under turret, he is going. Flash away. Zeus is like, yeah, I'm going to flash out of turret range. Okay, we'll see how that one ends up. Kanavi is going in onto this. The Paranoia available. Just going to go on to Guma. There's the Wild Growth. Catches the both, and Lucid just dies anyway, as he didn't have the damage alone. And now the flash over over the top from Zeka, picks up the kill on a smash, and just like that, HLE are back in the game.
Well, the wildcards do kill Gumiishi there, but it's still a massive fight win for HLE. And I was saying maybe you don't go for this. If you find the angle, then I guess you can just pull it off. It was kind of crazy that Shu survived there, and we have to pan down to see the fight going on. But he was so low on the tower there.
Career? Yeah, he's going to be slowed up, and now he gets miasma. He's just dead. I mean, not respecting the Nami, just runs into his death. Especially with Zeka there now on 4 kills on this Cassiopeia.
He's extremely fed. And I think D+ rushing in a bit too hard here. You know, initially, we see a little scraps going on with Kanavi. But the thing is, Gumiishi and Delight are so close to the turret already. We get this ult in, but then the tidal wave and the ult from Kanavi do such a good job of disengaging. And it buys time for Zeka to get here. I think that combo of Delight and Kanavi, the knockaway, is just saving the fight. Oh, that was unfortunate. If he kept walking forward, would have avoided it. So, between this and the death to Scorch last game, I think those are some unfortunate deaths.
Just unlucky, you know?
Yeah.
I really like how Guma took the trade as well in the smash. He knows that in an extended play, he will lose to the Yunara. But he just went in for a little burst thing and then just Valkyried out. And he put Smash at half health, and yeah, he was like, he took a little bit of damage himself, but that really set up the play for Zeka to then come in and get the kill on a Smash.
And this is how you have to kind of play the Corki Nami, you know? It's in some ways similar to the Nami Lucian, but it's very burst focused, especially in the mid game and into a Yunara Lulu. You go for the little bits of burst, disengage. Has now got the mana immune, not quite fully stacked, but if you look at his items, you look at Zeka items, this is a pretty great spot for HLE to be in. Wall doesn't quite stop the Herald there.
Yeah, can just crash into the bottom lane turret.
Okay, decent driving. But it's just traded on the top side of the map, and Showmaker is 2 levels down on Zeka. One of them is obviously from the Rod of Ages, but it is not a good feeling.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we talked about this already. You know, if the rest of the map gets fed and Showmaker falls a little bit behind and he can gold card people, still going to have value. And now he's kind of getting TP'd on is Zeka. They're going to have a very small little teleport, but it's enough as they get on in. Also, Paranoia in the mid lane. As this is happening, they don't... Okay, the gold card comes out, and finally they do get the kill. As now, in the mid lane, it does look like they went a little bit too aggressive. And now going in, a huge big one is going to hit the front line. And now Kanavi just goes wild onto everyone. Nobody can touch the Shintel. Look at the damage out of this. Guma falcing forward, and she was all alone. Hanwha Life Esports, triple kill for Kanavi as they look for the Baron.
Zeus is getting worked out of the bot lane. Kanavi gets a triple kill, and that's just going to be an easy Baron. And just like that, D+ find a pick. And then the whole game collapses because they overstep around the mid lane. We obviously saw this one just a moment ago. Not much Zeka can do to really outplay this. He goes for the ult, but they both manage to avoid it. He buys time and does get Showmaker low. But I'm wondering how this fight started around mid lane.
It's paranoid in.
Yeah, he's so close to the tower still. He can just Valk, and he's basically under tower. The tidal wave again disrupts the counter play, and I just guess they didn't see Kanavi wrapping around, but this is so over-forced from D+, trying to look for the Corki, and Gumiishi just knows exactly how to...
Career!
He's okay. He's okay.
He almost died to the maiden. But, yeah, he's okay. And, you know, D+ key in this mid-game, like, they had so many ways to keep rolling with this lead, and two unfortunate fights.
Have you seen Kanavi's build?
Yeah. Haven't we seen this before? Did somebody do this in, was it Road to EWC?
I think someone maybe did go Dusk and Dawn. And it's
it was LCK.
Make it third, but yeah, it just means just so much sustain, so much damage with the Titanic Hydra. And you saw him popping off in that last fight. Now it kind of feels like D+ are going to struggle to approach. They do have the Nocturne to start a fight. I don't know if Lucid's strong enough to dive into HLE here. Especially Zeka will just melt him.
Yeah. I mean, they had such a strong mid-game, or at least potential to win these fights, and it just kind of got thrown all away.
That's really unfortunate. You know which champion gets more gold when you get farm?
TF.
Yeah, he is very far behind in terms of farm.
Yeah.
70 CS down compared to Zeka.
Yeah. And now she was like, well, I'm pretty strong. Maybe I can do something here. Paranoia's going to come out to protect, I suppose. Bit of damage on a Kanavi, who's going to heal for about a bajillion. In comes Zeus from behind, as immediately Zeka going to ult backwards as Ingo's Shiu nearly dies. Zeus is in that backline, just chasing Lucid out of the game, who has already flashed out of this one and is backing on a blast cone. Zeus maybe looking for something on a smash, but just going to push him away.
How did no one die? If we're being real, if we're being honest, how did no one die in that passage of play? Definitely felt
Kanavi
like...
just don't, or Kanavi. HLE don't have enough engage, I feel like.
I think that is kind of the issue that we talked about in draft. It doesn't really matter that much because they are so far ahead in goal. They can't just run at D+. But it does allow some of the stragglers to escape, and by some I mean all the stragglers, everyone escaped.
Yeah.
But it still kind of shows that D+ really struggling to match up. Now Kanavi, he still has ult.
Yeah, I don't know if you can actually kill this guy. And they're gonna try, in they go. Kanavi's like, hell yeah, bring it on. As everybody tries to get into the circle. And Kanavi's ready to go once again. Smash, no mana, but he's got the wild growth, but he doesn't have a health bar. Guma just gonna pick up that kill. And Steve plus Kia kind of floundering here, almost forcing things in Hanwha Life Esports. They don't need engage if DK keep running into them.
You know, one of Xin Zhao's lines is he says, into the arena, and I think Kanavi just embodies that. You gotta throw it down. He's game every time, and now they're pushing to look for an end.
Yeah, this is a lot of power from them. Just the Yunara is down, and they are pushing in. They're only gonna get the one Nexus turret. Showmaker trying to catch the wave. Ingo's Delight. He's trying to play engage Nami. Doesn't really work out. Paranoia coming in, still trying to clear the wave, but the super minions are coming in, and I think you could just hit the Nexus, but instead, just gonna go for Zeka, who had Sonya's, and now Smash by his lonesome, trying to kite it out, but the burst damage is there. Nobody has died on the side of Hanwha Life Esports, as this game has been a wild ride as well, but this one definitely a lot more obvious as HLE take the lead in the mid-game and shut it down for the clean 2-0, nothing to see here.
This is the 80 carry experience. There was some
a bit better, as there it is.
Yeah.
Delight Mom and Delight on screen as he picks up his 300th win.
But the LCK, Kanavi thought, hey, I can just do what I want now.
Maybe we thought at that point, like, hey, Kanavi can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I shouldn't put it on him, you know, he's already thinking that way. Fun Xin Zhao builds. A fun end to this game as well. Where,
I mean, he was the first in the LCK to be bringing out the Titanic Hydra, Xin Zhao, and you tell him he can double proc it. Definitely getting the value. Great Seeker's Arm Guard there from Zeka. And he, Zeus, look how much damage that shovel did.
Penta.
Wait! This is the classic. You say like 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
And then nobody walks in the fountain and just someone dies. They did that there, and Delight nearly died. The bait. That's a class. Honestly, one of my favorite things to do in League of Legends.
Yeah.
It's all-timer.
Troll your teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just good to see them having fun after. You know, it was a hard-fought series. D+, I think, doing a lot of work there. Now, we do end up getting here the player of the match for Zeus. I think game 1, he was just absolutely the main character. I think game 2 was a bit tougher for him, but I think a lot of people swayed by just how much impact he had in that Scion.